There's got to be a way through here. Any luck finding Ventrinio and his big secret? And it looks like they're not far behind you. If you were anyone else, I'd try to stop you. As it is, I'll just wish you good luck. This can't end here.
Sometimes one soldier can do what an entire army cannot.
You haven't tried approaching, have you? No, of course you haven't. You're still alive. This took a little longer to find than I had hoped, but it should be exactly what you need. Dren had a twin in the Summer Court, Dith the Defender of Valor. They were both entirely immune to each other's power. She faded when the House of Valor fell, but my early experiments with the Well of Souls provided a quite useful little surprise. You see, when trying to draw life energy from the ether, I captured her essence and bound it into this charm. With this, you will be immune to Dren's power. It's not as powerful as it used to be, and it's specific to Dren. But it'll let you face him and live. Now, be fair. Fae don't have souls as mortals do. They are a form of magic with a physical form. And I only got a little of it anyway. Just enough for a certain degree of immunity to Dren's power. It only works for one person, but it'll be enough for you to reach him. Trouble is, he'll be immune to your power as well. But I'm sure you can think of something. With the essence of valor, you can withstand Dren's attacks. Stop being such a child and go face him. I had no idea what a treasure I had when I first caught Dith's essence. It was just a curiosity sitting on a shelf for the longest time. What a pleasant surprise that she could be of use to someone after all this time, eh? You've got his counterpart's essence, so he shouldn't be able to hurt you. What more do you want? So what if he's still invulnerable too? Go find a way around it. I can't do all of your thinking for you. Now, go show that defender what a little magic can do.
Turn back or die. Then you shall die like the others before you. I made an oath to protect my house and my homeland. No power short of death can keep me from fulfilling my duties. I know your intentions are to free my people from the Tuatha. You seem an honorable sort. You even bear the blessing of my sister. But I have sworn an oath to defend my house and homeland. I cannot let you in without a fight, and you cannot win against me. If only things could be different. If only the Tuatha were gone and my sister was back. We could fight each other until the mountains wear away, but that will aid nothing. My sister and I were chosen to protect our kind. So long as our houses stood, the Fae would never pass from this world. I in pride, and she in valor. We never imagined that our houses could crumble beneath our feet. Mortals led to the collapse of my sister's house, but with Gadflow's help, they shall not have mine. He may taint pride with his Prismere and his obscene god, but it will keep us eternal. Before I knew the truth of Tuatha, I swore to keep my homeland safe from invaders. I could never have known what my people would become. Fae never change, and pride's honor never yields. I cannot yield, but if your true intent is to stop Gadflow, then perhaps there is a way my house and my honor could remain pure. If you would promise to spare the House of Pride, then we could put aside our powers and have an honest battle. Win, and your army may pass. If this is the only way to secure a chance for my house's untainted survival, then so be it. If you should win, then destroy the Tuatha in my house and the hateful witch knight Myrna. Then we can be truly free.
And he was not alone. Like the weave unraveling, the Tuatha now tainted the purity of Mathon's court. These new...
You did it! You actually beat him! Guess I owe Ventrinio a drink. A promise is a promise, and the Witch Knights of Pride would be powerful allies to have on our side. I'll send a few soldiers along to help. Meanwhile, I'll get the other troops ready to move into Alabastra once that gate opens. The gate to Alabastra's still closed, and we can't open it without the House of Pride's help. Clean out the Tuatha inside, and we can move on. I heard about her, but she was before my time. All I know is she was some great hero of the House of Valor. I once toasted with her comrades at a statue to her, but even the statue crumbled long ago. The House of Pride practically drips with curses and enchantments, but the most powerful one is Dren himself. Dren's one of the Sentinels, isn't he? I've heard they were a pair of twins, unkillable on their homelands, protecting their people from attack. I've heard stories about Dith, the other Sentinel, from the days when the House of Valor still stood. Get that gate open, and the army will be ready to go.
With you here, we can't lose.
if you would be so kind as to have a word with us. I have been chosen by the remaining members of our house to speak for all. We were most honored by your intention to free us. We are in seclusion, so it's best to observe this situation without any unnecessary interference or risk to ourselves. I assure you, we will be more than happy to assist you in Alabastra. Simply carry forth and destroy Witch Knight Myrna, who has so commandeered our house. And her dreadful Prismere Chantry, of course. We are sure you'll have no problem finding her, or defeating her. We eagerly anticipate your success. We are waiting. We are waiting.
Don't turn back.
Well done, child of dust. You've killed the immortal defender and liberated a house full of arrogant backstabbers. I should thank you for exposing the disloyal amongst my kin. But then, I have so much to thank you for. Your bravado is nothing more than the mewling of an angry kitten. Each two-other you kill makes the rest of us stronger. Each one feeds Tirnoch. The goddess of mercy awakens. And with every step you take into my homeland, she comes that much closer to walking our world and purging your kind. So welcome to Alabastra. It shall be the death of you once more.
We have seen our champion bested, our advantage lost, and our minds are cleared. Bravo to you, champion. House of Pride in our ineffable wisdom renounces the Tuatha and demands that you accept our immediate surrender. Your army is welcome here. We trust our benevolence will be well remembered should Gadflow be dethroned. We thank you kindly, and our mages have already been assisting your army in their march into Alabastra. We trust you do not object. Most excellently spoken. You have the commanding presence of a young Aegon, who once also bore the pleasure of our august company. Allow us to welcome you to Alabastra. We trust your visit will be eventful. Myself? Why, this one is merely the lowest ranked of our house, and yet we have been chosen as the speaker for the Fae of Pride. To us falls the honor of acting as liaison to your mortal army. Your charming, well-bred, and simply lovely army. How Gadflow came to command such respect is beyond even our wisest. He was little more than a jester at the Winter Court. But he said he found the voice of Tirnoch, and she led him to power. And it seems he was correct. As the Fae are above mortals, the House of Pride reigns above their fellow Fae, sharing our wisdom, our grace, and our humility. Prince Sidon is a Fae of noble tradition. He would never raise a hand against the High King, just as he would never bow before the Tuatha. The Tuatha bred in our lands before we realized what change they truly represented. Certainly we all share a distaste for mortals, but few of us ever hunted them. Vengeance is such a sloppy, boorish house. Marvelous fighters, of course, but simply crude. They all feel that the world has wronged them somehow. And perhaps it did. How else would they end up in such a hateful house? We have been gifted with so much. It's only proper that we are also immortal, so as to put our gifts to the most use. Conversely, poor children of dust have so little, but are given barely a moment to live. How kind the world is.
The House of Pride opened its gates and welcomed us as honorary champions. They say it's simple hospitality, but I suspect we have you to thank. Now is the difficult part. We can hold Cluracan, even push a little into Alabastra, but we don't have the forces to mount a siege on Gadflow. Once the House of Pride gives their word, they'll never break it. At least, not while it looks like we're winning. Our real problem is that we can't march the army through Alabastra. Not in formation, at least. This will call for smaller groups. Alabastra is a maze of valleys. Gadflow's remaining faithful would spot an army moving together, and the valleys would be the death of us. But where an army would fail, the 5 of us can triumph. If we split up, we can travel faster and catch them unaware. We will at the House of Vengeance, on Gadflow's doorstep. From there, we strike at Bale, the heart of his empire. More than you'd think. But I promise I'll explain it all to you. Maybe once Gadflow's dead. I'm sure you know more about it than I do. After all, you were here last. That's where we'll find Gadflow, and where we'll put an end to this whole war. I hope you're ready. This time. The Fae of House Vengeance has always embraced their anger. Before Gadflow, they accepted it and controlled it. Now they wield it like a pair of swords. When mortals were welcomed into the Faelands, Vengeance already despised us as interlopers. When Gadflow declared war, they were already on his side. Now that you've driven off the Tuatha, those House of Pride fools don't even want to acknowledge they ever served Gadflow. Disgusting little turncoats. But useful ones to have on our side, as long as we keep an eye on them. Ventrinio says he has a way to defeat Dren. However he got into Alabastra before, we'll have to use it to put an end to Dren's defenses once and for all. I'll see you in Alabastra.
Hope you've got better luck this time, eh? I need to talk with you, but not here. I'll find you in Alabastra. I've put together a few facts about your death, and I think I know something grave. But not here. I don't want to cause a panic. The frosted gem at the center of Alabastra, full of Prismere. But now it's a lot more full of enemies than it was when we snuck in there. When you and I came to Alabastra, we were looking for the source of the Prismere's power. I never found it, but I think you did, and that's why you died. Gone, gutted, and good riddance to them. That'll teach them to stand on the wrong side of a war. You did kill them all, right? I'll give them the slip and talk with you a little later.
We're not going to stop Gadflow by just standing here and chatting. Lead the way. I'll meet you at the House of Vengeance. You should have seen Alabastra at its prime. Serene and beautiful as a sky full of stars. Bale was the seat of the Winter Court. Every bit as cold as Issa is warm. But they're both beautiful in their own ways. Doesn't look like there was much of the House of Pride left to save. And I can't imagine they were happy about a mortal doing the saving, either. The Fae in the House of Vengeance are, bar none, the fiercest, strongest, most downright unstoppable creatures in the land. Not that they have a lot to be vengeful about. After all, Gadflow was the one who started the damned war. I'll see you at the House of Vengeance.
the hero of Melsenshire. I've heard all about you. Private Eyeless Ilva at your service. Don't have much for supplies, but you're welcome to them. We've survived 2 night raids, but we lost our healer and our weaponsmith in the confusion. And don't even mention the mercenaries. I'm skilled with a bow, but not enough to defeat an entire band of Tuatha, and there aren't many others who can fight. I like where I am and what I do, and I have no interest in changing. Made the mistake of changing things once, but one can always change things back.